I've mentioned it in previous reviews, but the thing that I really love about the TV adaptation of Little Witch Academia compared to when they were just the 1 hour or 40-minute movies is that we're getting stories we generally wouldn't have seen if this was never to happen in a TV form and we were only ever going to see Little Witch in terms of like the 40-minute to 1 hour OVA or movie specials, because something like this I don't think they would have made into one of those films if they were to do more before ever doing this TV adaptation, or if they ever would have gotten around to it. And the reason I say this is because generally with those types of specials, there was a level of charm and magic, but there was something kind of explosive happening throughout the films. But with this, like, we generally haven't had too much crazy action or over-the-top craziness that you would generally expect with Trigger, but that's why I love this adaptation. Because what they're doing with this is they're taking such simple concepts, and this was very Harry Potter, like this is something that you would see Harry and his friends would do in the films before the main point of the movie would happen. But I love seeing something so simple with this concept of just, there is this author that Lotte really likes, there's this basically book signing or presentation, they've never ever seen this author, she's gonna be there for the first time ever, so everyone and their mother who likes these books are going to end up going to them. But of course, something happens, they end up getting pretty much grounded in these school grounds, and they're going to have to stay there, but of course they're gonna sneak out in some way, as that's what a child would do. There's this child innocence that this show really portrays well, of just carefreeness of, I mean, we're gonna get in shit later, but let's have fun now until we get in shit later, kind of a thing, which I really like, and I love how they're portraying that innocence in kind of like a child's mind. But I really liked how it's such a simple concept, and then they end up going there, and it escalates slightly enough, but nothing truly crazy happens, yet it's interesting the entire way through, which is something I really, if I'm thinking of all the anime I've seen, taking a look at like the 500 or so series that I've completed, the series that I can even kind of compare to Little Witch Academia, I can't find an anime that does this level of immersion, this level of fantasy, and this level of carefreeness that the characters are going through, as well as Trigger is portraying with this adaptation of Little Witch Academia, and that's an impressive feat, as there's been a lot of fantasy, a lot of witch-based shows in the past, but to have this level of just magicalness and just everything like that happen in this show is something only really Harry Potter and things like that have done, but we haven't seen that in anime, so I'm so happy we're having something like this happen. But my favorite part of the entire episode, we remove the coolness with the author, which at first, I'm actually going to mention this. When we saw the author and she was like this little girl and apparently she's been writing for like 120 years, I was thinking, you know what? I hate lollies. I hate the design. It's rare that I find a lolly design that I think, you know what? Her being 100 years old, it works. Generally, I rarely say that, but I was like, you know what? This is a world of magic. There would be some magic to make you look younger. Maybe she just likes her younger self when she was a kid. That actually works. But then when they actually twist it and said, oh no, actually just this gets passed down, every generation someone holds the pen and they start writing it. I was like, wow, actually, you just gave me mad respect, Trigger. Because I was thinking they were going the lolly design, but it would have worked. Because they're in a world of magic, they could change their appearance to fit their younger self. Is that what they wanted? But the fact that they went the route of actually, no, this is actually just an author, they passed down the pen, and that's who writes these series of books. That just had a level of respect to me that I think not many people are going to be like, wow, that's really crazy. Just because so many anime would have gone the route of saying she's 120 years old to make it okay for people to sexualize this child. But they didn't go that route, and that has my respect. That has my respect a lot. But my favorite part of the entire episode is this is pretty much the stopping point of them even being able to go to this event, is that Akko steals a pie, but it's not a pie. She has this smugness to her while they're being interrogated by basically the principal and the teachers there, and she's saying, actually, it was a tart. I did not steal a pie, it was a tart. Which actually is worse because tarts are more valuable than pies by like 3 times if I'm not mistaken. But there was this smugness, this look of just, you're wrong. I stole a tart, not a pie. Get it right. I loved her face because like, it's this innocence of just, we'll do whatever we want and we'll suffer the consequences later, but she has this smugness to her that is so perfect, and is just, I love this character. She is great, she fits this role so well, and I loved how that was pretty much the crank to pretty much stop everyone from going to this event, but of course, they're gonna sneak out, and they sneak out in that van. But I love that smugness. It was my favorite part of the episode. It was so short, but I loved it so much, and of course, they all had some pretty great faces throughout the episode. But this episode overall, like, I just thought it was fun. I loved how it progressed. I love seeing that actually Lotte convinces this girl to continue writing. She loves her books, but at the very end, we see that it's more of her not wanting to be her idol. She also just wouldn't have anything to look forward to if she was writing it. And I just love that little comment, like, man, everyone's kind of self-centered in their own way, and I love it. Just this overall cast dynamic, the visual presentation, like, what I really, really like is the color palette they're using for this, and just the overall character designs and how Western and Eastern blending of the animation styles is. Like, when it goes sloppy, it still looks impressive in its own way, and that's why I'm glad they never made Little Witch look like something from KyoAni, as it wouldn't have this level of immersion, in my opinion. But overall, like, this, I don't know if I would consider this my favorite episode or not. It's really hard for me to say. Like, it's such a simple episode. Not a lot truly happens, but it doesn't feel like filler, because at the core, this is just kind of slice of life in this academy. I really, if you would have told me the concept of this episode last week, I probably would have said, I know this is going to be my favorite episode. It might even be my least favorite, but I'm sure I'll have fun. But I think this might be my favorite episode. I just had a blast with it. The character dynamics, the antics, just the overall, I mean, the twist with her not actually being a lolly I thought was impressive, and just the smugness in Akka's face. I have to say, this was my favorite episode of Little Witch Academia. But for anyone who watched the episode, what did you think of this? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What has been your favorite episode so far? So let me know your thoughts, and before you leave, hit that like button if you did enjoy the video. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.